How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We are moving to a point of max pain. We're actually heading there today. We headed there yesterday. As the price of crypto continues to go up, I think that's actually where the most pain will be felt, where the most people get wrecked. And I think there's going to be a lot more price action moving to the upside soon. If you don't mind, stay through to the end of the video. I'm going to explain why this is bound to happen, why it's setting up perfectly, and why so many people will feel pain by Bitcoin going up. If you don't mind, like I said, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this. There's also a link down there to MargeX where you can trade cryptocurrency. One of the things that we're going to talk about in this video is the fact that we are just seeing like stair steps up. We continue to see price action up, then consolidation, then price action up, then consolidation. Sometimes we see a big dip, but then we can see more consolidation and moves up. We've seen this for a while now, and that's just because we have a endless bid. There are people out there, entities, that are buying as much as they can continuously. And because of that, it actually makes leverage a bit more attractive in my mind, because it's not like what we've seen in the past where there's like one big buyer and obviously they're going to take some profits at some point in the future. So then when it gets announced that they've been buying, then like sometimes the market used to actually drop when MicroStrategy would announce buying. But no, now it just moves up. And it makes this more attractive because we have a lot of buyers, which means there are less big moves. Like we've seen a 15% dip, right? Typically in bull markets, we see 30 or 40% dips, and we haven't seen anything like that. So leverage does make more sense when there's less volatility, but we're still moving up significantly. So if you want to check it out, there's a link underneath the video. I'll put a video on the end screen too that goes through how to actually use MargeX to trade on leverage, because it's not right for everyone, but it can be used in a helpful way. There's also a link down there to HGAalgo as well that can help you with indications of where the market's going. But as you can see, the Bitcoin ETF, we don't even have to talk about it really. It just had another massive day yesterday. 31 out of the last 33 days have been positive, and it's accelerating. Like we saw the best day ever yesterday. And there are a lot of other countries that are getting in too, like South Africa will license 60 Bitcoin and crypto platforms by the end of the month. This is just like, this happens every day or two. There's some new country. El Salvador voted to drop their income tax from 30 to 0% for money transfers and international investments. They're trying to get Bitcoin investors there, in my opinion. We have news as well about Thailand allowing institutions and high net worth individuals to access Bitcoin spot ETFs. This happens every single day. And now even Elon Musk is talking about the Ponzi that is the US dollar. He posted this on Twitter. These scam coins are getting crazy. Someone just showed me 27 trillion in circulation, unlimited supply cap, only one node, 25% of the supply minted in the last 6 months, and 1% of the holders own 30%. Just kidding, that's the US dollar. Elon Musk is posting this. Obviously, his companies own some Bitcoin. Maybe they're buying some Bitcoin. Otherwise, they're just holding. They've been holding for years. And it's crazy to see some people like Elon Musk, like Drake, some of the biggest personalities in the world shedding some light on Bitcoin. And while we see countries, ETFs, we still see these high net worth individuals like Mr. 100 buying 100 Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin. Bought 200 more Bitcoin here today. And that's where I say the max pain price is probably up from here. There are so many people that have no allocation to Bitcoin. Or they've seen it for years, they thought, oh, that's a scam, or maybe I should invest, but I'm going to wait until it falls further. And then they never buy in, or they buy just a little bit and then forget about it, and then they look at it again, they're like, oh, I bought the last time at 20K, why would I buy anymore at 70? And we continue to stair step up because they don't understand what's actually happening. There are institutions that really want Bitcoin because it provides a lot of utility, but also it's underallocated in traditional finance. Like when you look at it versus gold or look at it compared to other assets, there's not much that's bought up by the large institutions. Even like BlackRock and Fidelity right now, they own like 0.1% or 0.2% of their AUM in Bitcoin. Like it's very small and it's the best performing asset out there. And I did a whole video talking about how they can actually balloon their AUM in certain funds by having Bitcoin in there, which causes them to get a lot more in fees. Like people don't go through the math and understand how this works. There are institutions that are going to increase their fees by 20, 30, 50% because of Bitcoin's performance in there. And they can have a low fee on the Bitcoin fund itself, but it's placed within another fund. And if Bitcoin grows a lot, they can cause the AUM of that fund to go up, and the fees go absolutely nuts. There are a lot of people that just don't have enough allocation. You see stuff like this. Like, okay, in 2016, the average cost of a house was $288,000 in, I think this is the U.S. Yeah, in the U.S. And then the next 4 years go by, and the cost of a house is $329,000. And people are thinking, wow, the cost of a house has gone up so much. It's gone up 15% in 4 years. And then it increases 25% over the next 4 years. Like, it's accelerating in terms of percentages. And some people just can't afford a house, right? I mean, also interest rates are higher. But then you go down to Bitcoin. In 2016, it cost 664 Bitcoin to buy a house. In 2020, 45 Bitcoin. In 2024, it costs 6 Bitcoin. And soon, it might cost 1 Bitcoin or 1.5 Bitcoin. So when you start thinking about it that way, like, the really wealthy individuals over the next few years, a lot of them will be Bitcoiners, right? Like, think about how many people have 1, maybe 2 Bitcoin, right? They're a decent number, probably 1 million people, maybe 500,000 people that own a Bitcoin or half a Bitcoin or 2 Bitcoin. And they're going to make a lot of money from it. Maybe some take profits and buy real estate, get other cash flows. They are going to keep on investing in Bitcoin most likely, though. Like, how many people do you know that made money in real estate and then never reinvest into real estate in the future at opportune times? Like, it might not be that you have a Bitcoin in here, or you own a Bitcoin and then you contribute to Bitcoin every single week. Maybe you time it a little bit. That's what happens in real estate. Some people will say, there's just nothing on the market. I'll just wait a little bit, live on the cash flow. And then when the market falls, okay, well, I have some cash sitting there. I'll buy this house, and people don't want it. I'll buy it. And then they accumulate more. They do what they know. And what do people know that are in crypto? They know crypto. They know the crypto goes up, and they know when there's pain, when there's blood in the water, that's a good time to be buying. And there are some interesting things happening, like MicroStrategy up to almost $2,000. This is 10x what it was a year ago. It's just nuts. And it's near 2,000. It's not actually 2,000 yet. It's 1,800. We also have some big flow days, or some big volume days, I should say, for the ETFs coming up. Like right now, IBIT's at 1.9 billion in volume for the day. GBTC is at under $1 billion at the time of this recording, which is a couple minutes before close. FBTC nearing that. So we may have another like decent day in terms of flows. Of course, we never know until we get the flow numbers. But it's just, a lot of people don't understand that we could just have the stair-step action up. I was just talking to another person in crypto who said, how crazy is this going to get if we don't have anything like we've had in the past, that blow off top, or we go up 20% and then fall down 30% in like a couple days. What if we just keep on having this? Because the ETFs are different. They're built different. You have passive funds. You have people that are buying within other ETFs, like the Strategic Income Opportunities Fund for BlackRock, right? They go and allocate towards Bitcoin. Of course, if someone sells that fund, BlackRock may have to sell some Bitcoin. But it's not like if Bitcoin's falling down, someone's selling off their Strategic Income Opportunities Fund, right? So it's kind of like an uncorrelated allocation to Bitcoin, because in a time where Bitcoin sells off, it's probably a time where more people will look at what's in that fund, like treasuries and bonds, like safer stuff. So if the whole market's trading off, usually people follow the herd and they're like, okay, well, I don't want to be in stocks or crypto, so I'm going to go to something like this, Strategic Incomes. That sounds great. I want a 4% dividend. But within that fund is Bitcoin. So when they buy it, they're actually going to be buying that Bitcoin dip. And yeah, we may continue to see that. We're going to see this continue to be allocated to in more and more portfolios. Like, so far we've gotten it in 4 maybe portfolios I've heard of that are like new. 2 from BlackRock, 1 from that company that I'd never even heard of until yesterday, but they have a couple $1 billion fund that they're going to put Bitcoin into. And yeah, there are big companies like Tether, Tesla, those types of companies that buy Bitcoin, or MicroStrategy, right? But it's nothing compared to what it's going to be when we just see passive flows in target date funds. We're going to see massive increases in the AUM of these companies because Bitcoin's going to outperform. They're going to love it. They're going to fall in love with it. They're going to love the fees. They're going to love the fact that they can go talk about how Bitcoin's 3x since they bought in. So yeah, I mean, the max pain price might be up. The max pain is what a lot of people look at, like what wrecks the most amount of people, because that's usually what happens. And a lot of people would feel wrecked if they saw the whole last cycle. Because I think almost everyone was talking about Bitcoin a couple of years ago. Even if they didn't buy it, they either hated it or they loved it or they were kind of paying attention to it. But a lot of people didn't buy. And when the price moves up, they're going to FOMO. They're going to FOMO and buy Bitcoin, and that's going to cause the price to go up even more. But more importantly than that, we have the institutions that continue to drive up the price. And, maybe, I know famous last words, but maybe this time is different. Maybe we don't have an 75% correction, 80% correction. I still think we'll see some corrections, right? It's bound to happen when there's psychology for something happening. Usually it happens, or when there's precedent set. So we'll probably see a cycle, but maybe it only falls 40 or 50% because all the way down, when people are getting freaked out, like BlackRock continues to buy. Fidelity continues to buy. So it will be interesting to watch. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Again, you can check out the link underneath the video to HGAlgo, which can give you bullish and bearish momentum indicators. You can also check out the link to Margex, where you can trade cryptos. In case you didn't know too, you can trade a bunch of different cryptos on there. Like, it's not just Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like, you can trade Doge, you can trade Pepe, Shiba, Caspa, XRP, EOS, ADA, Solana. You can do all those on 20x, 50x, 100x leverage. So definitely check out that link underneath the video. There's also a link to Blowfin and CoinW if you want to try a couple different accounts. I think you really should have like 2, 3, 4, 5 different exchanges that you have access to, just in case they go down in high volatility. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. Bye.